Well, hello, folks. It's another Wednesday, and we're going to be ranking another Game Boy puzzle game. We currently got the list up here on the screen right over there, and you can see 27 games on the list so far. I'm all at the top at Tetris and Dr. Mario, all the way down to Square Deal and Blodia. And we got an interesting one this week. This is a game I have played a whole lot of on the Super Nintendo, and I'm familiar with a couple other versions of it. We're going to be playing Lemmings. And so Lemmings on the Game Boy. I tested this out. I played a little bit of it. I have some thoughts. Not all of them are negative. Some definitely are. But at any rate, let's just hop on in and have a look here. So, there it is. Okay. I think swapping games kind of messed me up a bit. So the interface on this is a really ugly title screen. They did try to recreate kind of the aesthetic of the original, almost to a fault, I think. So yeah, so you can set your difficulty here between music and sound effects. New level, if you click on this, they want you to put in a password. I think if you press start, regardless of what you're highlighting, it'll start you on, yeah. And so, Lemmings 10 to save, release rate 50. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't figured out how to change the release rate. Time 3 minutes. That's a little concerning, but anyway. I know if you press select, it's just basically instant give up, which is weird because Lemmings already had a give up feature. You can see you can kind of pan up and down a little bit. We got a cursor. Cursor moves real fast. It's a nice snappy cursor. It speeds up if you hold the button. It's not too bad. Same thing, we have the little taskbar down here. You hold down B, and that just sort of pops up. And then this is the other give up button. You press the thing that looks like a mushroom cloud. And then that's a little more spectacular on other versions, but there's a reason I wanted to start over here. So I want to show this. This is important. So, okay, 7. Okay, I just assigned that one lemming the same task 3 times in a row. That shouldn't happen. Hey, Chimega. And the other thing, those 3 lemmings just fell to their death. And that absolutely should not happen on stage 1 of Lemmings. I went back and I replayed the Super Nintendo version of stage 1 just to double check. And then I went back and replayed the Genesis version of stage 1 just to double check again. You have to try to kill lemmings on stage 1. This is just wrong. This is incorrect. And so, yeah, I know I'm making a big deal about it, but that's just... It's just a mistake. It's concerning to me, because I feel like some of the later puzzles, this is going to cause problems. But anyway... So only floaters can survive this. So anyway, because I haven't gotten to it yet, here they are. We gotta be careful, we don't want to assign... And so for anyone who's never played Lemmings before, they basically just walk blindly in one direction, and if they hit an obstruction, they turn around and walk blindly the other way. If they hit a ledge, they just walk off of it. And so you have to guide them safely to the exit by assigning different tasks. You see, you hold B, and you see here's your tasks, you know? Climber, floater, bomber, blocker, builder, basher, digger, or miner and digger. Tailor-made for blockers. So this is where they show you how to use blockers, is on this stage. So we want this one. And so we assign him a blocker. And it seems like he still took a step before changing. That's not a big deal. And they're going to start walking this way, because he's now considered sort of an obstruction. And I don't know if it's safe for them to walk off this ledge. I think we do want them to... Can't even remember now. I think we want them to be down here. And we're going to need one more blocker, because otherwise they're going to fall into this little hole down here. Oop. Okay, so after he's... I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, so once again, I assigned him a blocker twice. Because I was able to hit the button 2 times before he put his arms out. But I also want to emphasize, the way that they did the interface here, I still think this is really... This is well done. This is a good sort of interface design. Okay, the nuke worked, but it took a second to kick in. Also, it seems like the bombers didn't destroy the terrain. So when they exploded, it didn't make a little hole in the ground. Use some miners and climbers. Okay, so again, the title is just telling us the solution. We want one miner. Don't tell Trump about this stage. And then we want to assign everyone climber so that they can climb up that thing. And so 2 of them are too close together, so I couldn't assign one of them. So we're gonna blow them up. But I want to wait for these guys to get there first, so just to be safe. So if I just push this once... doesn't appear to have done anything. Hold it. Okay, you hold it. You hold it down. Seems to make it work. Or press it twice. One or the other. And you You needed 10, you rescued 9. So, okay, so we had to do 100%. Okay. So... Oh, right, yeah. So there's 2 different ways to pause the game. You can press start, or you can select the little thing that looks like pause, like a paw prints. Again, if there's a way to change the release rate, I still haven't figured it out. The music is catchy as ever. It's sort of a mashup of tunes from the public domain. And a couple that weren't in the public domain that they didn't realize and they accidentally included, like that little doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, which is from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You need bashers this time. Yeah, so this is the... I'm a little worried about this part here, because we're going to have to kind of bash through this thing. I guess we could wait for them to come on this side and bash it this way, and be a little easier. That probably won't be necessary. Oh, nope, they fell to their death. I hope I didn't need 100% for this stage. Also, this guy's gonna take forever to turn back around. We already didn't get 100%, so... Totally stormed that level. Okay, now for blockers and bombers. Okay, this is the one I was curious about, because so far, bombing has not caused any sort of any terrain damage, unless there's specifically... Okay, yeah, so this very specific terrain here, probably anything that looks like that would be damageable, but... I hope that's fine. He kind of took a couple steps before Getting into position. Don't love that. Again, personally, I think if using bombers for terrain damage is going to sort of complicate the game this much, you could have just left those puzzles out. Again, it's just this weird thing about this game is like there's clearly a commitment to trying to make this an authentic port. But it almost to a fault. In a weird way. Like, they didn't quite get it. And it would have, in some ways, been better, yeah, if they'd scaled it back, if they didn't try to recreate the graphics as closely, if they... Have you tried a builder? Well, I guess we're about to. The first thing we want to do is assign someone climber. For a second there, I thought he was going to fall before he finished it. Again. Oh, yeah, okay. So again, so the game still has the little audio cue to let you know the builder's about to run out of bricks. And he still shrugs for a second, giving you a little bit of time to sort of reassign him. Oh, boy, he went all the way up there. No, he didn't die. These little staircases, they seem a bit more... They seem a little tighter than usual. I don't know if were they always like that? Like it's going right up at a 45-degree angle. That could actually turn out to be an improvement in some ways. Probably works better on, Game Boy screen dimensions. Okay, so these guys come out full tilt. And we want a basher. And then we want to get someone to become a blocker as fast as possible so that they don't walk into this thing. And I assigned him a blocker twice again. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to... I think I got it. No? Whatever. Oh, that tile disappeared. Okay, maybe it's just really thin tiles. Smile if you love lemmings. Oh, I do. Okay, what do we got? 14 of everything. That's not too bad. This is really close to the edge. Did that work? Okay. Now I gotta wait for them all to come out. So being able to increase the release rate would be nice. The stage keeps going this way, but the water just kind of stops here. Is there more coming out? That doesn't seem like it. Okay. Now it should be good to dig. We're gonna need to be ready with another blocker down here, just in case they start heading towards the water. Come on. Oh, nope, they all went past him. Nope, they all went past him again. Well, I guess that solution just isn't going to work, so we're going to have to figure out a different way to get them down. Ming's 14 to save 7. Okay, I think we can kind of... I have a plan, but it's a bit weird. So the music changing when you pause? A little distracting. Oh, nope. Nope, I hit the button too late. And they're all gonna fall to their death. Okay. Oops. So this is kind of the thing I was worrying about. That these puzzles end up being slightly unsolvable due to some of the kind of technical decisions that were made here. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, what can I do to stop him from digging? I guess I just have to wait. Oh, he does not change professions until he runs... Wait, no, the other guy did. There, okay, so that should be a safe fall. Which means if we now assign a digger to one of these guys, and hopefully they don't walk off the edge, which they do. What? Wait. Keep your hair on, mister. Did I? Oh. Was that good enough? Wait, no. There. So if you assign them to climber and floater at the same time, it calls them athletes. Just a little detail. And you can only dig through this surface in the direction that the arrows point. Which is why in order to do that, I'm going to need 2 lemmings to come down this way. And we're gonna blow this guy up, because now he's in the way. So that clears a path for all of them, but of course it also means this one lemming is going to now climb this wall. We're just gonna have to wait for him to get all the way to the top, and then parachute all the way back down, and then turn around. Patience. Boy, if there's one thing I don't have. Well, this isn't too... Oh, geez, they're coming right out. Alright. And... starting to get a little bit of sprite flickering issues here. Once again, we want... There we go. Okay, the game does have the wherewithal to not assign someone a builder if they're facing directly into a wall. Okay, so if I set it to nuke, and then press the A button on this screen, or maybe I just have to leave it on there for a bit? I don't know. There doesn't appear to be any way to change state. If there's a level select, it's somewhere else. And they're doing We All Fall Down, which is not a personal favorite. But it does seem like this stage was at least somewhat modified for this version. And again, if these lemmings walk off this ledge, it's just high enough that they'll fall to their death. So we need to assign every single one of them to a digger so that that doesn't happen. We also want to make sure there's enough space for them. Again, we're getting a little bit of issues here with disappearing lemmings. But we did apparently save all 14 of them. Origins and Lemmings. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. What is the... what? They made some alterations to this stage. So I guess what I'm going to want to do is build over that, and then come over here and build up. And if I could bash through this... should probably also make him a floater just in case. Oh, he does not... I wonder if it's a tech thing? Like, it's just... It's just to sit up. Okay, well that's actually good. I don't know if you saw that. I assigned him to Basher, but he didn't switch until he got up against the surface. That's actually an improvement. That is... no, that is better than the original. That is a smart change. This game is not without some good qualities. Again, I think the angle shouldn't matter. You should be able to safely... I'll still do it anyway for funsies. Because I think the angle that the miner digs is a little steeper. Again, it's almost more of like a 45-degree angle. Perfect. Alrighty. Now you do that. Where'd you go? Oh, no. No, stop digging. Stop digging. Stop digging. Stop digging. Oh. And they all died. And I once again assigned him Builder twice in a row. Or just twice. What? Oh, I meant to put him back on that one. And I did it again. But once again, I do like that he waited until he couldn't dig anymore before switching over to bashing. that continues to be a good change. But we want to wait before kind of pushing through this pillar because we need him to be... And this is a trap, by the way. If the lemmings walk on that, it will kill them. Probably safe to at least start bashing. They're now become a... There we go. So... Yep, that should be everybody. Danger, the bridge is out. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I remember this level. It's a little curious that they changed the title. Also, the pause music continues to be a bit jarring. I'm gonna need to time this pretty well here. Okay. Perfect. So these little guys are all going to get trapped in here. And that's what we want. Also, you kind of see the way that they build here is in little segments. And that's interesting because it kind of gives you a sense of it. Like, each time I assign him builder, he completes 2 of those segments. You can kind of, you know, maybe eyeball how many bricks he has left a little easier. That could very well be a workaround from a technical limitation that just happens to have caused a positive change. Either way, I like it. So like we can already see that he's halfway through his bricks. and that he should have enough, maybe just enough, to land on the other side. And then we just gotta let these guys out. There we go. I'm gonna try the nuke again, but in a minute. Okay, so if I just set this to nuke, let go of the button, not touching anything. Yeah, okay. That's what it is. I guess maybe it gives you a little bit of time to hit the B button again real quick. Just say like, no, I didn't mean to do that. Makes sense. Do not do anything too hasty. That is almost the same name as this stage usually has. I'm pretty sure it's usually don't do anything and not do not do anything. Yeah. Interesting change. And this is another stage where we send one guy out and blocker everyone else. This is gonna be tight. It was too tight. It is handy to be able to quit the stage out by just hitting select, even though it... I don't know why it has that. Didn't you just make it so that pushing select nukes the stage? Same difference. So if I get onto that spike and then build from the peak, I think I can reach that. Well, I only have 10 builders. Is this enough? Is this enough? Should be enough. Yep. From here to there. I have concerns. Oh, you can't reassign him to Basher to make him stop building. I only got 4 builders left. I hope I did this right. It may be that I was supposed to build this way. Yeah, I'm gonna try it again. this is going to be my last attempt, and then we'll put the game on the list. So yeah, instead of aiming for that platform, I'm just going to aim for the spike, and then aim for the spike, and then aim for the platform. That should be just enough. Okay, come down here. I can't afford to be double assigning him, but some of those button presses... I want to instinctually mash just to make sure I got it. Again, this angle? Hang on. This angle would have been untenable in the old Lemmings game. But we might be able to do it here. Oh god. It's coming in a little too tight. Okay, start building this way. Build it too... Oh, I'm gonna have to be real cautious how I do this. You idiot! Isn't that just the capstone on the whole thing? You go to the trouble to try and set up a solution. And he just walks off the bridge. If I press B for menu and hit start, now it goes back there. It doesn't matter. Let's just get this thing on the list. Sorry about that. So, what can I say about Lemmings for the Game Boy? Well, one thing, they tried. They genuinely tried. And they got pretty much all the features in there. Like everything that is recognizably Lemmings is in the game. Like the music, the visual style, the kind of, it's slightly eccentric sort of puzzle. I don't really know what you'd call it. The kind of the puzzle design, like it's all in there, but it's almost to some degree kind of to the game's detriment. I don't know if it's just a case of like the hardware or the conversion, the port job. Like for as close as they got, the presentation and the interface, and I think the interface was really well done. Honestly, I think they did with what they had, they found a good solution. But the puzzle design is just kind of hurt in some very specific but frustrating ways. And so this sort of falls into that Bust-A-Move 2 region where the game is good, but this particular version has some problems. Similar to Bust-A-Move 2 or to Puyo Puyo, which kind of fell in the same boat. This is technically more functional than Puyo Puyo. And also, there's no like accessibility things with this either. Like this isn't a case of like you don't need to be able to see color to play this game. You just have to have kind of a tolerance for mud. It's a muddy version of the game. So yeah, it is better than Puyo Puyo. I think it is. No, I don't know if I can say it's more playable than Adventures of Lolo. No, I think it is more playable. It's more playable than Lolo. It's maybe even a little more playable than Bust-A-Move 2. I think Gearworks, it is maybe a more solidly made version of that game. It doesn't have the version problems the way this does. But I mean, the fact that Lemmings is such a damn good game, from first principles, and then, this is an unfortunate version of that. Like, So, like, flaws aside, is this version of Lemmings better than Stop That Roach? It is. It's also better than Flappy Special. It's better than Word Zap. It's not better than Sanrio Carnival. So it's just, does it go above or below Quirk? And I think it goes... Boy, now these are total opposites in the sense, because Quirk is a game that, for whatever else is wrong with it, it is very readable. The graphics are extremely simple. It's easy to see what's going on. And Quirks is better than this port of Lemmings, which is now our new number 13. Congratulations to Lemmings for making the top 15. Excuse me a sec. Just trying to find the button in time. Congratulations to Lemmings, our new number 13. And that is going to be me for this evening. I will, of course, be back tomorrow night with live improvised music. I will be back on Saturday night with music production. I got something interesting lined up. It looks like, once again, Smite's still doing the damage shuffler. I knew that. And then he's just starting, so we're just going to hop on over there. So thank you for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. Always thank you, Kai Mega. Always happy to see you here, even if only for a little while. It's no big deal. And as always, I hope to see you next time. So bye for now.